First thing I'd like to start with is downloading and setting up the wallet to begin with. And we start with that on this web page. If you go to wallet.radixdlt.com, you'll find the official links to get the Radix wallet. You can always come back to wallet.radixdlt.com to make sure you're getting only the correct Radix wallet, not something that a scammer is trying to put together for you. And you'll have, and not only can you download the wallet there, but the web page itself is designed basically as a Web3 dApp to help lead you through setting up the wallet, which is quite cool. So the first step is getting the wallet app itself. So it is an application for iOS and Android, and we provide a QR code that makes it really easy for you to scan from your phone and be taken directly to the App Store to get that application. There's also some information here about if you want to migrate from your Olympia account. We've got a separate video that talks about it, that whole process, but let's focus on setting up the Babylon wallet from scratch. So after you get that wallet app, I won't show you what that looks like because everyone knows what it's like to get an application from the App Store. But once you've installed that wallet app on your phone, you will have this icon. So you've got the Radix wallet application loaded on your phone, and I'll show you what it's like to start with that from the beginning. So if we launch the application, you'll be asked if you're a new Radix wallet user or if you want to restore the wallet from backup. We'll talk about backups in another video, but for now, let's say we're just getting started from scratch. So I say I'm a new Radix wallet user. It's going to go straight to creating your first account, which is really easy. Your first account is your first thing that will hold tokens on the Radix network and allow you to start doing things on the network. So let me just call this my first Babylon account. Hit continue. Creates the account, and that's all there is to it. So we're now on the main screen of the wallet application, and you can see that first account that I've created listed there, and you can see its address on the Radix network. So that's basically the setup of the wallet. I've now got a Radix wallet. I'm connecting to the Radix network. I've got an account address, and I can start doing transactions. But there's another step here on the wallet setup page, which is quite important because you can't just do everything on your mobile phone. In fact, what we found is that the vast majority of people doing Web3 and DeFi today are doing that on their desktop, which is why MetaMask focused on doing this browser extension wallet. The problem is that an actual wallet that's holding your funds in a browser extension is kind of crazy. It's not a very secure way of holding a seed phrase. The user experience is terrible, and basically just no one is used to the idea of a browser extension with its own user interface and doing all the stuff in there. So what we want to do is have a nice, easy to use mobile application that's going to be very familiar to people, but still have the ability of connecting to dApps on your desktop. We're going to have the ability of also connecting to dApps on the mobile itself in a later update, but to begin with, we're really focused on desktop. And to do that, we have something called the Radix Connector Browser extension. Now, this is not a wallet application. It's completely unlike MetaMask. This is just a very, very simple browser extension that sits in the background. You never have to directly interact with it, really. And it just sort of creates the connection between your phone and your desktop browser. It creates a secure P2P connection between your PC and your phone that allows you to interact with dApps on the desktop. So you're going to want to set that up. So we make that very easy. So you click on Install Radix Connector for Chrome. You get taken to the Chrome Web Store. We can add that to Chrome, add extension. And there it is. It's added to Chrome. If I want to, of course, I can pin that there if I want to look at it, but you don't really have to. It'll mostly just pop up if you ever need it for anything, and you don't need it for very much. The other thing you can do, and by the way, over here you can now see that the download page has detected that fact. It goes, I can see that the Radix Connector browser extension is installed. So now you need to go on to the last step of this, which is linking the Radix wallet to that connector, basically creating that secure connection between the two. This is a one-time thing you have to do. It's not as if every single dApp you've got to like reconnect to this. This is something where you do this link, and now your PC and your phone know how to connect to each other from that point forward and do that securely. So I can hit open the linking QR code, and that pops up a little window from the connector extension that shows a QR code to do that link. So now in my Radix wallet, I can go to that gear icon in the upper right for settings, and you can see I'm prompted to link your wallet to a desktop browser. So I hit that button for link to connector, And this is now going to bring up my phone camera. So I'll just scan that QR code. And now I can give it a name. We name it because you can connect to multiple browser extensions if you want. Let's say if you had 2 different PCs that you wanted to be able to use, you can connect to different browser extensions on each one of those. So let me set this to like Chrome on my main Mac. And the window goes away. So what just happened right there was an exchange of encryption keys, and now my phone and PC just connected to each other P2P over the Wi-Fi connection, but it could have been anything. I could be on cell phone connection, I could have arbitrary network conditions. Those two find each other, verify that link, and now we're good to go. So you can see that on the download page, now both of those steps are checked off. We're all set up. You've got the wallet, you've got the connector extension, and you're ready to use dApps and various other things on the Radix network. Before I go on, I'm going to create another account. So you've got one account, but you're not limited to one account. In fact, I think what a lot of people in DeFi found out is that there's actually a lot of value in having multiple accounts. But the problem is the wallets don't really make this easy for you. It's like every time you connect to a dApp, everything is in terms of just that one account. It's like you are your account. Whereas on Radix, we separate these things. You are not your accounts. You are a person that can have multiple accounts for different reasons, and you can share those things, as we'll see a little bit later. So let's create a second account. Let's make this my second account. Once again, super easy. So you can see it was doing a quick biometrics check there. So this is basically providing secure control of those accounts on the phone by protecting the ability to sign these things behind the biometrics on the phone. And now we've got two different accounts managed through the Radix wallet. So we're pretty well set up right now. For people that have been in crypto for a while, you might be asking the question, where's my seed phrase at this point? Normally with MetaMask and other things, this is like the first thing they put in front of you is like, hey, here's the seed phrase, make sure you write this down, et cetera, et cetera. What we found is that's a pretty bad user experience. I mean, for 2 reasons. For one thing, no one likes seed phrases and they have to back these things up and the security of that. And then also having to deal with this right up front when you're creating accounts is a little bit silly because when you're first creating the account, it doesn't really have any meaning. Right now, if I were to lose my phone, who cares? I didn't have any of these things in these accounts. They didn't do anything. So what we do is we actually there is a seed phrase, but we put off prompting you about this until you actually have something in the account. So when we actually have multi-factor support in the wallet, we already have it on the Radix network at Babylon, but it's going to take a little bit of time for us to actually implement all of the UI stuff to have a really nice multi-factor control and multi-factor recovery scheme in the wallet UI itself. So until we have that, the wallet's kind of in old-fashioned mode. It's like there's a seed phrase on here. That seed phrase is used to sign accounts. And if you do lose your phone, you're going to have to re-enter the seed phrase to be able to recover access to those accounts, just like every other crypto wallet. But we don't push it in front of you right in the beginning. We delay that prompt until we actually have some tokens, as you'll see in another video. So that's it for setup.